Regional threat, China. Yes, China is out there flexing its muscles in the South China Seas. And if you look at one of their maps, they show most of the South China Seas, Vietnam, all the islands, even the Philippines as territory of China. Well, they can do that because they're a superpower and they have a land force, military land force, that rivals anything else on the planet. And they're basically muscling. Well, they're making reefs, well, let me put it this way. Some of their little reefs are sitting 30 feet below sea level, and what they do is they simply drill down into them and make an artificial island, which can be quite big. Or Phil might say, make underwater dams and fill everything in with rock, and then concrete it over, and now that's their island. And they're doing all that across the South China Sea. And they have that little thing about, why, this is our land, and 200 miles out, we own everything. And which is making the Philippines and the Vietnamese rather disturbing. And when you look at a military Chinese map, it shows not only Vietnam, but Indonesia, Australia. Why, we should own all of that. Yes. And they got the force and mighty force to do it. If they land 100,000 troops in Australia, they could overrun Australia quite easy. Of course, they would get nuked. But Australia doesn't have any nukes. Are you sure? Wow. Let me check my little nuke book. But that's what the United States is there for. And Chinese ships have threatened U.S. merchant ships. And they were warned, very simple. You want to keep your cargo ship afloat? Don't start a war out here. Because every cargo ship that's coming from China immediately becomes a target. And their ports become targets. And their fuel lines become targets, and their depots becomes targets. Well, Taiwan will lose. Yes, but there won't be very much left of the coastline of China and everything else on the seas. Why, Taiwan doesn't have the muscle anymore, or it doesn't have muscle. Well, now they have muscle. It seems that Taiwan has been getting supplies from other countries. The Philippines are beginning military supplies. Not much, you get a couple drones here from Iran, a couple drones there from Iran. Why would Iran do that? Why wouldn't they? But it is a real problem in the South China Sea because China is muscling into everywhere. As they said, we can claim it. Who's going to stop us? Yeah. Doesn't that sound like Japan? Imperialist Japan? Does it mean that China is now imperialistic China? The Emperor of China is who again? XI? I shouldn't say very much about that. I have some great communist Chinese friends. Yes, they say, we're coming to the United States. And I say, aren't you already here? I swear when I walk into Walmart, I see China brands all over the place.